How are we, everybody? It's Sunday night, it's a late night agenda. I am Craig. You're very welcome along to tonight's stream. I hope you're all keeping well. I hope you've had a wonderful weekend. Why wouldn't you have? The Reds have won. The Reds have got 6 points. The Reds are currently sitting on top of the Premier League, although look, that can change tomorrow after United play. It's only 2 games in, but look, we'll have a chat, see how everybody's feeling. As you can see from the title of tonight's stream, I thought maybe the main topic we could have a chat about was the Reds front three, what they might do this season, what type of numbers they might put up. But first of all, let's say some hellos to everybody. How are you? Thank you so much for joining me as always. It's a pleasure to be with you guys. I look forward to these streams every night, as you know, and I still fear to this day, even though the channel has grown, that some night I'll come on and there'll be nobody here. It's weird. It's this recurring fear that I have from the channel from day one. And if it happens, what the fuck do I do? Anyway, look, I said yesterday I'm going to try and go through a stream without swearing. What are we, 30 seconds in? And I've already got the first one in the bag. I guess that won't be tonight's stream, ladies and gents. Look, let's have a chat about today's Premier League results. Boya, I see he was in the chat earlier on. He was obviously up at Chelsea for that game. Good 1-1 draw for Leicester City. Pretty damn fine result. Pretty damn fine performance as well. Let's see how everyone's feeling anyway. I hope Allison gets a quick recovery. He said, oof. Yes, so do I. Although, look, I suppose we're trying to address the Adrian situation here, aren't we? His goalkeeping I've absolutely no issues with. His actual stuff that he does with his fucking hands. But, yeah, look, what happened wasn't great yesterday, and we don't need that to happen again. He will learn from it, as Klopp said. He got his little mistake out of the way. It happened to Alisson. We've seen what he went on to do. Adrian's back up to Alisson. He won't be in the number one position for too long. But I think he's doing alright. That mess aside, I think he's doing alright. Toblum said, I saw Manchester City Fan TV today, and it was an hour-long indictment of VAR. The one thing that everybody swore was going to screw over Liverpool in the long term. Do you remember that? When VAR comes in, Liverpool absolutely screwed. Absolutely screwed. We're not though, are we? And look, it will come around. We will get done over by VAR at some point. We will have a goal chalked off. We will have something ruined for us, but it's still worth enjoying the banter when it happens to an opposition team, isn't it? So I'm going to carry on enjoying it. VAR is what VAR is. There's no going back on it now. Well, not anytime soon. It is here to stay in the Premier League. There are some discrepancies with VAR, I will admit. But the rule is clearly there. If the ball hits a hand and it leads to a goal, no matter whether it's accidental or not, it will be ruled out. We were told this. Everybody was informed about this. And look, if it was us, we'd be pissed off about it as well. I mean, I take every opportunity possible to have a little dig at Manchester City, but we'd be pissed off as well. But unfortunately, it is what it is. Life's a bitch at times, ladies and gents, but not when you're sitting on top of the table, not when you've got the Super Cup in the bag, the European Cup, the World Club Championship to look forward to, and these mighty Reds, ladies and gents, these mighty men in red. Nervous for Arsenal, said James. Arsenal? Nah, it's Arsenal, mate. Here's what I see every time we play Arsenal, honestly. I look forward to them. They're usually really good, entertaining games of football that we win. But they're really good, enjoyable games of football, and I really do look forward to playing Arsenal. They've always been a club that looks to try and play the game in the right way, that looks to attack, and it's going to be fun next Saturday. I'm really looking forward to that game. I'm very confident, but I still feel it's going to be a good game of football, and Arsenal will improve as the season goes on. I will say that about them as well. There's lots for us to go through, and I do have some stuff on Arsenal as well. Hello from Anfield, said Jose. How are you, mate? Welcome. Felt nice seeing City sad after the game. Sure felt like a loss for them, said Barry Richards. Yeah, it did. And they probably couldn't believe it happened to them twice against the same club. Madness. I know, you couldn't write that stuff, but it did. Boya, how are you, mate? Anyway, we did speak about you a couple of seconds ago and said that you were probably delighted with that result today. But reading back through the chat, I can see that you feel, Anthony, that it might be 2 points dropped from a Leicester City perspective. And I can get where you're coming from. Maddison missed a really good opportunity. And you guys in the second half, I mean, Manchester City, did you see me? Chelsea came out really quick at the start of the game, really put you guys under pressure. But as the game wore on, I thought Leicester City looked the more likely to go on and win it, and it must fill you guys full of confidence that you can go to Stamford Bridge there, keep the barrage at the start of the game away, concede a goal, fair enough, but you didn't capitulate. You got yourself together, regrouped at half-time, came out in the second half, and pretty much bossed the game, to be fair. It was impressive stuff from a young Leicester City team. Nervous for Arsenal. Actually, I say young. I've no idea what the average age was. I'm just absolutely making up shit now as I go along. I just assume because they have some young players at the club that it was a young team. Anyway, doesn't take away from the performance. It was a very good performance. What else we got? I'm all for VAR, but the incident in the Super Cup was an eye-opener for sure, said Will. It was. And as long as I have breath in my body, Will, I will never understand how that was given as a penalty. Never, ever, ever. And we can say this having won the game. So, you know, I'm not just looking back at it from a bitter perspective because we lost. We didn't. We went on, we lifted the cup, and I still can't understand that decision. Okay, who else have we got in? Wolves win tomorrow. It'll be a great weekend for us, said Rob Shepherd. Yeah, it's a very interesting game, that one, at Old Trafford tomorrow night. And I just want to take this point to say that normally, as you know, we start our live streams at 9:30. Tomorrow, with that game taking place, we're going to start about 9:45 or so. So give everybody time to watch the game if they want to do it before we come on and have a chat. So keep an eye out, 9:45 tomorrow instead of the usual 9:30. 9:30, God, that was the most Irish. 33 in the third. God, I'm like a stereotype at this point. Iranian, our friend, where is he? Where's our friend from Iran in? Iranian Pride, how are you, sir? Welcome back in, great to see you. Alfie said, we'll be in Spain next week for the Arsenal game. Hope we can find a good pub to watch it in. Remember Bobby's hat-trick. He's a bad man, Alfie. He is a bad man, Mr. Firmino. Do you remember he put them all on their arse? He went one way, he went back the other way, and then they were all on their arse, and he just puts it in again. Because that's what Bobby does. I'm not nervous for Arsenal. Their defence is a shambles. I'm not nervous about it either. But I do think they're usually good games. I'm not here to piss all over Arsenal. I mean, that's not what I'm trying to do. I think Arsenal are a good side. They have an excellent front three. They're still lacking a little bit, but they will get better as the season goes on. So that's why I'm confident next week. We haven't lost a home in 2 years in the Premier League, or 2 seasons in the Premier League. I'm very confident. And I think that's alright. I'm not being bashed or braggadocious. Is that the word I'm looking for? Yeah, I just feel like Liverpool will win because usually we get the better of Arsenal at Anfield, and I'm not expecting anything but that to happen next week. Dean Dixon reckons Wolves 1, United 2 tomorrow. I've honestly got no idea what to expect from the game, mate. I've no idea. Probably edge towards a draw. If I had to pick a result, I'd probably go maybe 1-1, 2-2, something like that. Really enjoyed watching Leicester. Good young side there, said Craig Adams. It was a decent game. They did well because Chelsea came out fast. Really got up in their faces. I thought Mason Mount put in a very good performance again. I'm actually quite impressed with that kid. He's really coming on leaps and bounds at Chelsea, and fair play to Lampard for giving them a chance to play and putting faith in him. Casper said Liverpool need a full week off training. Why would we need a full week off already? We're only just back, mate. Season's only started. We can't be complaining about tiredness already. I get where you're coming from, Casper. It was a very demanding week. Lots of travel. Playing on Wednesday, playing again on Saturday. But they'll have a chance for recovery now. Klopp will get them back at Melwood, and they'll do some sessions. They'll get some strategic stuff done. They'll get some time on the training pitch, and we should be fit, firing, and ready to go for Arsenal next Saturday. Is Alisson going to be fit for the game against Arsenal? I don't believe so, Scotty. But everything coming out of the club has been particularly vague around Alisson. What kit is it that I'm wearing? LAFC, mate. It's not LA Galaxy, it's the other LA team, LAFC. PSG is going down. Last time I checked, I did check before I came on to see what the score was. 78 minutes gone, and Rouen are beating Paris Saint-Germain by 2-1 as things stand. Now look, there's still time for that game to turn around, but yeah, it's not great, is it? This is why I said to you, I don't believe they'll ever win the Champions League, Paris Saint-Germain. They just don't seem to have the mentality within the club. Loads of people talking about PSG losing. Look, that can change, but Ron seem to have their number, don't they? They seem to have something over PSG. Liz Golden said a full week of training without an extra match. Exactly, and there isn't going to be many of these weeks, Liz, throughout the season, so Kloppo's got to make hay while the sun shines. I mean, when you're champions of Europe, when you've got lots of shit to do, it's usually midweek weekend. So with the Champions League back from the 18th, 19th of September, yeah, it is important that Klopp makes the most of this time on the training pitch, and this is where the fitness for the season will come from. Guys, do you think we'll win the war between Sky Sports and BT Sports as a football channel? Who do I think? I, hand on heart, prefer everything that BT Sport do when it comes to football. Everything. I think the Champions League show that James Richardson hosts is Brilliant. I absolutely adore that show. I love that you get to see the goals pretty much as they go in. You get to see the reaction of the pundits there. I always used to enjoy Soccer Saturday as well, but this is like Soccer Saturday on steroids because you get to see the goals, and I suppose that's part of the joy of the Champions League rules. But for me, I like the BT side of things. I don't know who will win. Probably nobody will win, mate. They'll probably carve it up between them. What I don't like, though, is that this season we've got some games coming on Amazon Prime in December, and it just feels like football fans are having to fork out for even more. And look, I know Amazon Prime's fairly cheap, but that kind of isn't the point. The point is that we have to have multiple subscriptions now, and yet we still can't, in the UK and Ireland, we still can't see every single game of football, every single Liverpool game. It is a joke. Hand on heart, I looked at my Sky bill today for next month, and my Sky bill is going to be €205 next month. €205 for my Sky bill. Now, full disclosure, my Sky bill is phone, broadband, television, and BT in Ireland now is bundled in with that, and I even have Netflix going through that. So I've quite a bit of stuff there, but it's still a lot of money, like £2,400 a year for Sky. It's and I still can't watch every Liverpool game. It's madness, and I know I'm not alone. Everybody's in the same boat in the UK and Ireland. I know our friends in America, our friends in South Africa, in Australia. I think you guys have more options as to see every game. Still have to shell out a lot of money, I get you, but I think you guys have more options than we do, which is frustrating from our point of view. But look, I don't begrudge anybody getting to watch the Reds. Do you still think that we can cope with Adriana now after the absolute shambles from him? Yes, Bradley, I do. And there is no denying it was a fuck up. But Alisson did that as well, mate. It's important to remember that. No, I'm not comparing Adrian to Alisson because he's not as good, nor will he ever be as good. But he's a backup keeper, and we have to trust his ability. He's an experienced goalkeeper. I think he'll be fine. He's just got to not take any chances. If he's got to go long, he's got to go long. If he's got to kick it into touch, he's got to kick it into touch. But just don't take any chances like he did. He got a warning yesterday. Didn't heed that warning. And look, he paid a price for it. Thankfully, we didn't from a points perspective. How long have BT got the Champions and Europa League contract? Rich, mate, I honestly don't know. I've no idea. No idea whatsoever. But what annoys me as a football fan and somebody with a subscription, as I said, to these channels is Sky in particular. We're getting less and less. They try to tell us we're getting more and more, and yet they're putting on stuff like fucking netball. Like, come on. Who wants to watch netball? Realistically. Nobody sat down and went, geez, you know what Sky Sports could do with adding a drop of netball? Netball is what we all want. Come on. Realistically, trying to big up the shit that we don't give a shit. The E-games as well. They're starting to push. Now, I have no problem with E-games, but on a sports channel, not for me. Not for me, ladies and gents. If you want to watch E-games, by all means, put it on Sky 1 or something, but as a premium extra that we've got to pay for, sorry, I'm on a bit of a rant here, but a couple of people have asked questions about BT and Sky, so give my honest opinion. Alan Byrne said, I can watch all Liverpool games, £50 a year on all the pay-per-view boxing. Yes, mate, I know that those options are available, but they aren't legitimate options. They aren't options that we, contractually can talk about and can do. And also, they're not up to scratch. I know a lot of you will swear blind and say that some of the things that you have are brilliant and all, but I've used them, and there still isn't one that I found that's in any way good enough. They all buffer, they're all delayed, they're all behind. I'd rather pay. I would honestly rather pay and get a quality product. Which they do deliver. I will say that about BT and Sky with regards to the actual viewing of the product. It's good. The punditry is horseshit from time to time. And how well Hairy Hands, Richard Keys and Jason Cundy are employed as football pundits, I will never ever fucking know. I had a little, not a rant about this on Twitter earlier on, but I did put up a post about it. I don't understand how some of these guys are still paid to give their opinions on the game. The problem with Adrian is everyone is overhyping him, said Leon Can. I get you. I'm with you, Leon. We need to manage expectations. He isn't Alisson. He wasn't brought in for a world record fee. He was signed as a free agent on a free contract as backup. And we need to remember that. You're right, mate. Jose said, Sydney Supporters Club, George Street, full of Scousers, 3 a.m, every match live. Anybody in Sydney, pop down, say hello. Fingers crossed, mate, someday we'll get over there. I know myself and Connor are dreaming about a future pre-season tour with the Reds. So if they go to to Asia, to Australia, to New Zealand. I'd love to do that someday. Oh, I've said that since I started the channel. That is my dream, is to do a full pre-season tour following the Reds to probably Asia and Australia, because I've had the pleasure of being to America a few times. I've never been to that neck of the woods yet, and I really look forward to it. Kieran said, "Hi Craig, in South Africa we pay like $550 a month, but we get to watch all the games. When you convert it to pounds, it's 35 or so a month." Now, I know, mate, different countries have different wages, different standards of living and stuff, so I don't know how much of an impact £35 a month has for South Africans. I can afford £200 a month for my Sky subscription. It's a big chunk of money, but when you consider phone, broadband, Sky Plus, all the other bits and pieces, or Sky Q, I should say, sorry, it's a lot, but it's a choice, and it's a choice that I'm happy to do. I would be even happier if I got to watch all the games, or if there was an option for us to watch all the games. Now, bear in mind, I don't drink alcohol, I don't smoke, I don't socialise much, so I kind of look at that subscription and paying that money as my entertainment for the month. The fact that people are comparing Arsenal's attack to ours is insulting, said Joe Woods. You can't find the front three glued together with chemistry and goals like Liverpool. Their front three is good, Joe, you're right, mate, but it isn't ours. And it won't be ours. And ours are on a fucking wavelength that a lot of people dream of watching. It is a thing of beauty to watch Mohamed Salah, Roberto Firmino and Sadio Mane in full flow, mate. And we're blessed to have them at the football club. We really are. It's going to be a great season ahead. I can't wait to watch even more of them. Maverick said, 2,400 and you can't watch every game. Wow. You need something. I can't say that out on the stream, mate. I might get in trouble. I know where you're coming from, and I know about the products, but we are where we are at this moment in time, unfortunately. Adrian is a definite upgrade on Mignolet, said Stephen Booker. There's not much in it, but I would probably side towards Adrian as well. Maybe it's because we have some of the bad memories with Mignolet. How many times have we won the Champions League? Anthony asks. Why, young man, I believe it is 6 times, sir. 6 times Champions of Europe, won't you know? Imagine the kickoffs. Hilarious. I don't know what that's about. Craig, is Liverpool-Arsenal game going to be on Sky or BT? It is a 5:30 kickoff on Sky. I'm sure it's Sky. Yes, Sky. I'll check that. Sky show the 5:30 kickoffs, don't they? On a Saturday? It is Sky, isn't it? I actually checked this yesterday because I wanted to make sure. Yes, it's Sky, isn't it? It is Sky. Isn't it Sky, ladies and gents? Who does the 5:30 kickoffs? Is it BT or Sky? God almighty, I'm stupid. I did check this yesterday and all. I still don't fucking know. I don't know who has it. Somebody will tell us in the chat. Right, what have we got here? First super chat of the night. Thank you. Rich said there should be a season ticket for each team on TV. Rich, my friend, you are absolutely preaching to the choir with regards to that, mate. I've said that for a long time. I don't mind paying for my Sky subscriptions if then, as you said, I can add in a little Liverpool season ticket package, because I understand the arguments that every team needs to get football money. I get it. Every team needs that Premier League money. To stop there being massive disparities between top and bottom, everybody gets roughly an equal share of the pie depending on positions in the league. Yada yada. Get that. I agree with that. That makes some sense. But at the same time, I don't mind if I have to pay an extra 10 or 15 quid a month and I get to watch every Liverpool game. That would be my choice. But I don't have that choice, nor does anybody else in Ireland or the UK have that choice from a legal perspective to do things. Gaming Guy said, the only commentator I like is Peter Drury. Yeah, he's not bad. As I keep saying, I also like, what's the guy's name? The guy on BT that I like. I'll think of his name in a second. Yeah, one of their presenters, Jake Humphries. I like Jake Humphries. I think he's quite good. Start a new job tomorrow, said Lee. Best of luck to you, mate. I hope it goes well. Sky main event. There you go. It is on Sky. There you go. Perfect. I thought BT did the 5:30s as well, but I'm me, mate. I'm useless when it comes to stuff like this. Yeah, so Sky. We will be covering it, of course, on the channel next week as well. 5 o'clock we'll be starting our show. Adrian's a very good shot stopper in my opinion. So Colin Douglas, the Super Cup win proved that fact. He is. Yeah, I agree. I've had no issues with any of his shot stopping. He's come for balls, for crosses. He's got a punch on it. He's nothing wrong whatsoever. Just his distribution. And by distribution, I'm making it sound like I'm expecting him to be prime Pepe Reina or Alisson. No, just do the simple things. If you need to hoof it long, mate, hoof it long. Yeah, I think that's all we're asking for. Bring back the days of ITV Champions League. In Ireland, there still is free-to-air Champions League, which is something that I assumed was still in the UK. Do ITV not show Champions League games at all anymore? Over here in Ireland, there still is Champions League coverage on free-to-air television. Yeah, I thought it was the same in the UK. That's crazy. Can't wait for the game. Score prediction. I'm going 4-1, mate. 4-1 to the Reds. Now, I will get back to talking about our front three because that's what I wanted tonight's stream to mainly be about. But I seen something earlier on and it made me laugh. And it kind of leans into, well, it totally leans into the Arsenal game next week. So there seems to be a lot of confidence from some Arsenal fans, should I say, ahead of their visit to Anfield next Saturday. And that's understandable, considering their decent start to the season. But as always, there's a couple of people that get carried away, get ahead of themselves, and they believe that their attack will tear up our defence and that their press will cause Adrian all kinds of issues. That's what I've been reading from some people on Twitter today. And there's even an interview from, the channel I don't like, showing some clown saying that Joe Gomez, and this is a direct quote, Joe Gomez is a pile of shit and that Rob Holding spits on him. I think you can probably guess, as I said, where that came from, but Arsenal can underestimate us all they want. The proof of the pudding will be in the eating at Anfield next Saturday, and I'm fully expecting Liverpool to go and get the 3 points. And that kind of comment, that Joe Gomez is a pile of shit and Rob Holding spits on him, kind of sums up my entire reasoning behind not liking that fucking channel. All it does is put out shit like that sensationalizes stuff, that gets clicks, drives traffic, everything I suppose you're supposed to do. But I don't view that as fan content. I view that as you making your own supporters, who you profess to be a member of, look like dickheads. And if I'm an Arsenal fan, I don't like that. That's my dislike. As I said before, I have nothing against anyone that works or runs that channel. I don't know any of them personally, but I can't fucking stand the channel. I just think it puts out constant stuff like that makes their own fan base look like dickheads, and that's not what it should be about for me. And I'm sure they do a lot of other good stuff as well. I'm sure they do. I don't watch it very often. I just see the clips that go up on social media, but to actually put that out, like, it's fucking embarrassing. It is embarrassing to say that Joe Gomez is a pile of shit and that Rob Holding spits on him. Fuck off. Honestly, come on. I'm not going to undermine Rob Holding. I actually don't watch that much of him. Why the hell would I? But to say that Joe Gomez is a pile of shit is completely disingenuous. It's completely over the top, and it is the opinion of somebody who clearly hasn't fucking watched much of Joe Gomez or just wants to say something to provoke a reaction. I don't know. What do you guys think? You know me. You know where I am at this point. Sometimes I get worked up about stuff, but that clip today, it made me smile and it made me pissed off at the same time. Cameron said, Craig, I thought you were doing a stream without cursing. Nope, not tonight. Couldn't do it. Got through the first 40 seconds. I will try one soon. I have to just make sure I work myself into it though. We should not dislike Adrian as he's a hero, said Martin. Yes, I agree, mate. I don't dislike any Liverpool player. I'm fully behind Adrian. That's why they deserve a good beat next week, said UK lad. Now look, this isn't all Arsenal fans. Of course it isn't. Same way a couple of Liverpool dickheads that say stupid stuff don't represent all Liverpool fans. But when you have a platform like that to put it out there, all you're doing is making your own fans look like a bunch of mugs, and it'll drive clicks, it'll put money in your pocket, it'll do everything you want to do as a channel, but don't have the cheek to call yourself a fan channel then when all you're doing is making your own fans look like fucking idiots. That's just my opinion. As I said, don't know any of them personally, have nothing against them, but as a collective channel, it's not for me. It's not my cup of tea. Do you think Kevin Kelleher could have been second choice goalie? I've been saying for a while, mate, that when we knew Mignolet potentially would move on, that I would have liked Kevin Kelleher to step up to that second position. I understand that he's got a lack of experience, but at the same time, what's the point of having younger keepers and bringing them through if they never get an opportunity, even as backup? I've seen Kevin Kelleher play for the underage teams. I've seen him play for the Irish under-21s. He's got mistakes in him. He's still learning, but he has to be thrown at the deep end at some point. And what is the point of us keep bringing through goalkeepers, sending them out, and then just moving them on to other clubs? I don't know. I'd like to see them given a chance at some point. If you're bringing these keepers through, you're coaching them for that long, surely you'll get them to the level, or why would they be at Liverpool in the first place? And Kevin Kelleher looks like a good keeper. Grabara looks like a very good keeper as well. I know he's out on loan, but he does look like an excellent keeper. Some bad fans make the fan base look bad, said Rich. Yes, happens, and we all have them. Every fan base has them. Did you watch the All-Ireland hurling final? I didn't, Colin. I'm not going to lie. I know Tipperary won, and I think it was 3-23 to 20 points, something like that. Pretty good beating of Kilkenny there, to be fair to them. But no, I didn't watch it, mate. I'd be lying if I said I did. Craig, big fan. Where am I from? I'm originally from Dublin, Carl. This always makes Connor laugh because I say the same thing. Originally from Dublin, but now I live in Wexford, buddy. Billy Connolly made a great life for himself, swearing like a trooper. Yes, but Billy Connolly is infinitely more talented than I will ever be, Colin. It is my dream, though, to stand-up comedy has been something I always dreamt about, but never had any talent. So I do, I'm a geek. I've told you guys before, I'm a geek when it comes to stand-up comedy. It's where myself and my wife go on all of our nights out. Love stand-up comedy, and Billy Connolly is right up there at the top of the pile. Time Crisis said AFTV is the best thing since sliced bread. Each to their own, my friend. Each to their own. Kelleher, I think, is 1 or 2 years away from being second choice keeper, hence why we bought Adrian for 2 years. A gaming guy. Guarantee it won't happen. Guarantee you, mate. There's more chance of me being Liverpool's backup keeper than Kevin Kelleher making it in the long term. I hate to say that, but Grabara is probably closer to it than Kelleher. But they're both good goalkeepers. I just see the cycle of it all the time, and as that's been the position I played myself, it just drives me demented. It drives me mad. Yeah, just my opinion on it. I know myself and Brian Morrissey differ on this. The lad on loan of Huddersfield was third in line. Danny Ward, was that you? Or the lad on loan of Huddersfield? Sorry, I was thinking Danny Ward because he went out last season. Was it last season? I don't even remember when that was. Grabara, is that who you're talking about? Oxlade-Chamberlain to cement that midfield role for the next few weeks, even if only for 70 minutes. He was excellent, I thought, yesterday in that midfield role. Well, he's still working his way back to full fitness, but I'm making his a comparison to when he played in the left side of the front three against Chelsea, and it was night and day. You've seen a much more comfortable Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain playing through the middle yesterday, and it's very promising for the season ahead. I'm so glad to have him back. If you could only pick one out of Mane or Sterling, who would I pick? That's a very difficult decision, Martin, because I'm not going to lie to you, mate. I rate Raheem Sterling extremely highly. He is improving constantly as a footballer and is dangerous as hell, as is Sadio Mane. I probably keep Mane, but I'm not saying Mane is better than Sterling. I'm just saying I love Sadio and I'll probably keep him, but I do rate Raheem Sterling really, really highly. Arsenal haven't had the best start to the season, to be fair, but it's been okay. 2-1 and 1-0 are brilliant results. Yeah, sometimes, Alfie, mate, it's just about getting the results, isn't it? It's like what I said about the Southampton game before it. I don't give a shit how we play. I just wanted us to pick up those 3 points after being in Istanbul during the week, and we got that done, and we can worry about performances as the season goes on. It is about picking up points early in the season and not letting a gap appear between you and Manchester City or whoever else might be looking good at the top of the league. Oxlade-Chamberlain to cement that midfield role in the next few weeks. Just done that. Dave said he'd pick Mane all day. Mane for John Irwin for LFC 1892 as well. PSG lost 2-1. Is it over? They did as well. That is shocking. Absolutely shocking to have that level of a squad and just lose 2-1 at Ron. With all due respect to Ron, obviously a good side, but it's not great, is it, for Paris Saint-Germain? Who do you think could partner Van Dijk against Arsenal, Matip or Gomez? Gomez. It's really difficult to say that because I rate Matip's appearances lately and the end of last season extremely highly, but pace, I want Gomez, I want pace. You're up against that front three of Arsenal's. I want us to have pace. If we're playing a high line as well, with Arsenal's frightening pace at times, like our own attack, I'd like Gomez. Matip's no slouch, but I'd just go with Gomez for this game personally. And it will be interesting to see what Kloppo does. But for me, Gomez, just for this one. But I can understand Matip feeling hard done by if he was put on the bench because his performances have been very good. Mane will get the golden boot this season in my opinion, says Stephen Richards. What do you guys think? As I said, the title of tonight's stream is really all around our front three and who you think will score the most goals this season and who you think will perhaps make a push for the golden boot. I'm with Stephen Richards and I know Connor thinks the same way. As much as we love Mo, as much as we love Bobby, we just have a little inkling, and I think a lot of you guys might as well, that this could be Sadio's season. Sadio looks like he's up for it this season. He looks like he's in a good place mentally. He looks like he's buzzing, and I'm expecting a huge season from him. But it's like picking one of your kids, isn't it? Because you love the three of them. You love Mo, you love Firmino, you love Sadio. You know they all bring somewhat different things to the team. They all cause threats in their own unique way. And it must be a nightmare for an opposition manager to sit down with. Craig, are you a farmer? Mate, I have the cleanest fucking fingernails you've ever seen in your life. No, I'm not a farmer, mate. Far from it. I am probably as far removed from a farmer as you could possibly get with regards to my lack of being at one with nature. No, mate. Far too lazy to be a farmer. Neil said, I'm 54, I love your channel, mate. I've been watching it for around a year and I don't comment much. Neil, mate, thank you so much for taking the time to put in that comment. It's great to know you're enjoying it, mate. It's great to know there's another Red out there of an older perspective like myself. I know you're 54, I'm 38 next month. But I feel old, man. I feel old, and sometimes when I see all these up and coming young bucks on here giving their opinions and great opinions, it's nice to know there's another old fogey out there watching, buddy. So thank you so much. Maverick said Mane shades Sterling in his opinion. For us, Mane, but out of everybody, I'd say Sterling. Said David Newell. What do I think of Naby Keita? Woo! Love me some Naby, Martin. Absolutely love me some Naby. Like everybody else, I'm a little bit frustrated at the injuries and that he hasn't really been able to get a good, strong run of games together. But as I said previously, at the end of last season, I thought we were starting to see what Naby's capable of. And this season, I am expecting him to go to another level, mate. I love him. I really do. Somebody put up a midfield, or somebody put up a Liverpool 11 the other day, and I'm trying to remember it. So obviously it would have been Alisson, Trent, I think it was Gomez, Van Dijk, and then obviously Robertson. But for their midfield three, I looked at it and it was Fabinho, Oxlade-Chamberlain and Keita. And then our front three, and I just thought, if we're at home in Europe, that team walks out on the pitch and everybody's firing on all cylinders, best of luck. Best of luck getting at them from that team, or against that team, because that's pretty fucking sensational. I have to say, that team, Fabinho mopping things up, Oxlade-Chamberlain driving, Naby Keita breaking stuff up and driving himself, and then the front three, it made me really excited about the season ahead. And and then you still have Milner, you still have Henderson, you still have Lallana, you still have Shaqiri, Gini Wijnaldum, so many other options for the manager at midfield. It is exciting. If Craig's a farmer, then we're all his herd. I like it, Joanne. I'm not calling anybody cows. That is definitely not what I'm saying. Your words, not mine here, buddy, but I like it. Sam Phillips gone for a prediction already. I like it, Sam. Mane 24 goals, Salah 22 goals, and Bobby 17 goals. Are we talking Premier League goals here, Sam, or all competitions, mate? I think Mane's hitting 30 in all competitions this year. There, I've said it. I think he's hitting 30. Connor, by the way, is a farmer, or lives on a farm, or his father owns a farm, or whichever way you want to say that. So maybe that's where that person got mixed up. What age is old age, said Anthony. I don't know, mate. I guess that's a personal question, isn't it? For me, I'm starting to feel old, mate. I'm not going to lie. What do I think of VAR? Asks Adam Farnan. It is a double-sided coin, mate. It is I'm undecided. I would have been more pro VAR than anti VAR right up until the Super Cup. And as much as what happened to Manchester City was within the laws of the game yesterday and was correctly pointed out by the VAR officials. There is still some discrepancy there. I think, was it Gundogan? I think put up a post. Somebody, I think it might have been Gundogan, put up a post that said, like, so any accidental handball in an attacking perspective is penalised, but an accidental handball or the handball by the defender isn't. So there is some. I mean, the rules are written, but I understand the greater picture here. I think around VAR, the handball issue in all parts of the field, I think needs to be looked at in more detail, and that law needs to be rewritten. It's still vague. We're still talking. People are still talking about this. What's the phrase that they keep using? Unnatural position, which has never once been in the fucking rules of the game, by the way. I don't know. I think I seen Jamie Redknapp talking about it again on Sky, and I was like, mate, stop. Like, that's not part of the rules. There is this phrase now, I think, where they use, and this, I think, is in the rules, or UEFA have mentioned it, making your silhouette bigger, I think, is something that they're saying. So if your arms are out and they make your silhouette bigger, then potentially a penalty. And what really annoys me at VAR, Adam, is that it is imposed differently in different situations. So how can you have players go out and play in the Champions League and have a threshold of VAR be here, and then you go and play in the Premier League and then the threshold for using VAR is much higher? So like, it has to be a much more serious incident or much more clear cut. It needs to be level. The game should be the game. The rules should be the rules. They should be the same throughout the game. Now, obviously, I'm saying that in full knowledge of knowing that it can't be the same from, say, the Premier League to League 2. But what I'm talking about here is when you're in an elite level, when VAR is in use, it should be the same across the board. It should be the same in the Champions League. It should be the same in Serie A. It should be the same in the Premier League. It should be the same in the Liga. Or else, what's the point? The rules of the sport differ from league to league then. It just, that doesn't sit well with me. But some aspects of it, I do like. I do like the mistaken identity part. I do like that can be cleared up. I do like the offside decisions. As tight as they might be, offside is offside. I do like that side of it. But as I said, there are still areas that it needs to be worked on. I really, really feel, and I know a lot of people who go to games much more than I have, and it's been too long since I've been, but I don't feel like the fans inside the stadium are looked after enough compared to us folk who are sitting at home watching it on television, because we get the TV updates, we get to know what's going on, but you often see at times with VAR, the people inside the stadium haven't got a clue why something is taking so long or what's actually happening. And I know you get a few phrases thrown up on a scoreboard where the scoreboards are available, but Anfield doesn't have a scoreboard, or not a scoreboard, a big screen, I should say. Sorry, we have a scoreboard and that's where it's put up, but more information, more replays, all this stuff needs to be available to people inside the stadium. Otherwise, you're ruining their match day experience. And it is definitely a double-edged sword or a two-sided coin or whatever the correct phrase I'm trying to find here, but it is here. And it's something we're going to have to get used to, so we're going to have to get used to it together. But I think unless they make it level across the Champions League and every top domestic league, top domestic league, I think it's going to be a fucking farce, mate. You're going to have players going into the Champions League thinking they can get away with this or they can do this because they can do it in the Premier League, and then they're getting pulled up on it and we're all going mad, and then we're having to have commentators and pundits explaining to us why this was given in the Champions League and it wasn't given in the Premier League. And we had it last season. We were told, for instance, I believe that the penalty that Spurs gave away in the first couple of minutes of the Champions League final, that wasn't going to be a penalty in the Premier League. Why? It's a penalty, or it isn't a fucking penalty. The rules of the game should be the rules of the game. Rapadam said, VAR is great as long as it hurts City. Look, I'm all for it. I'm all for the banter. I'm all for taking the piss out of City when it happened to them. But it will happen to us. And it will happen to United. And it will happen to Villa. And it will happen to Arsenal. And it will happen to Chelsea. And it will happen to everybody else. So it needs to be sorted. So we all need to know what we're doing. And we need to know what's happening in these situations. That's just my little take on it. Now, again, there are people who will be far more eloquent when it comes to describing their feelings on this. And I'd love to know what you guys think. I mean, it's fine me giving my quick opinion, but you know, this is your show. I want to know what you guys think about VAR. Are you for it? Are you against it? If you've been lucky enough to be inside the stadium where it's been used, please do let me know your experience of that as well. Trent says Mane is the hardest to play against in training, said Seahog. I would imagine so. Mate. And I often forget that actually. I forget that playing against Sadio, playing against Mane, playing against Firmino, playing against Salah, will improve our defenders no end as well in training, because they are training against the best attackers in the world. And that's a nice bonus as well. Who's my favourite Liverpool player? Bobby. Colin, mate. I love him. Absolutely love Bobby Firmino. Scotty said, I'm with Sadio, Craig. Mo's my favourite player, but I think Sadio will get the golden boot this year. Craig gets manicures every second week. Definitely don't, mate. I'm too scabby to get manicures. I mean, if I can do something myself, I'm fucking doing it myself, mate. If I cut my nails with the nail clippers and keep them clean, that's what I'm doing. But I ain't paying for manicures. I'm a tight ass when it comes to certain things. Not gonna lie, listening to Mourinho as a pundit makes the likes of Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher look like amateurs, said Gaiman Guy. I don't know about Gary Neville and Carragher. I think they're actually two of the better pundits when it comes to describing the game. But I get where you're coming from. Wenger, I thought as well, was very good, given his opinions at times. Who's your favourite player at the moment? Firmino. Carl, absolutely love him. I wish VAR had cameras and angles like Wimbledon does, so that they can see it closely, even digitise the close-ups like GL Tech. The problem there is, in tennis, when a point has been played and it ends, there's always a natural time period where Rafa bounces his ball or they ask the ball boy for another ball, so you get your 30 seconds between points, and that generally allows Hawkeye to have a look at the situation, pull it up, and in or out kind of thing. In football, there isn't that natural break all the time, and if you're going into the level of detail that you're talking about there for incidents, whether it be offsides or whatever, it's going to take even longer, and the more tech, the longer it'll probably take, and that I'm not for that. It needs to be as quick as possible. Sometimes we're seeing stuff on television screens and we've seen it 5 or 6 times before we get a decision from the referee, when we know how clear cut it is, and we know that VAR should have only had to take one look at that and gone, well, that's clearly offside, or that's clearly whatever it is. But they seem to take it over and over and from various angles, when sometimes it's blatantly obvious the first time that it's offside, or that whatever the decision is clear. Stephen Richard said, Craig, VAR fucked us over in Istanbul. You can talk about this 2 ways though, mate. I mean, I'll talk about the Tammy Abraham incident and say it was never a penalty in a million days, but you'll get Chelsea fans saying, well, Adrian's foot was a couple of inches off the line and the rules state that the goalkeeper needs to have at least 1 foot on the line as a penalty is struck. So, again, VAR confusing everybody. I think VAR is one of the best things to happen in a long time for football, said Carl Jones. Do you see any downsides at all to it, Carl, though? Or do you only see it from a positive perspective? And Adam Parks said, I'm against VAR because of the Super Cup and the handball rule. Pep is a fraud. He's only good if he has a budget, said O. McCarthy. VAR now 2-0 up on aggregate against Manchester City, said Jack's Page. Fact. It's do you guys remember the young kid who, I say young, I think he's probably about, I'm guessing maybe 12, something like that, and he was at both games against Spurs, and he was selfie sticking the fuck out of himself watching the game and celebrating, and there was a video going around after the Champions League game where they were knocked out by Spurs about this poor young man being heartbroken about the incident. There was another video yesterday, very same thing, saying, and he actually said the phrase, I think something like VAR can't fuck us this time or something like that, and kind of fucked you, mate, kind of did. I shouldn't be laughing because it's a young man, but it is still funny because he's there with a selfie stick, and fucking filming yourself at a game with a selfie stick is just a no for me. I know you got vloggers and you got people that do that, but I don't know, if I got to a game and I'm there to watch the fucking game, content you can make before and after. Do I have a fantasy team? Yes, Mark, I do, mate. We have a fantasy league. We've 2 Anfield Agenda fantasy leagues. We have a head-to-head league, and we have the Blood Husky Fantasy Premier League, and I'm shit. So, but yeah, I do have a team. I think Jesus will be City's star player this season, said Sam Phillips. Yes, he certainly seems hungry, and there seems to have, you've seen the incident with Pep and Aguero yesterday. There was a few words exchanged. If a keeper done the same to Salah in the Super Cup, I'd want the penalty, said Lee. With regards to which, mate? Are we talking about Tammy Abraham? I mean, we'd scream for a penalty, fair enough, but there was no contact, mate. It was never a fucking penalty on Abraham. And when we were watching the Southampton game yesterday, no, not Southampton game, sorry, we were watching the Super Cup, Mane had a shot and it was blocked by Christensen, I think, if memory serves me correct. And it was blocked with his hand, but I said on the stream, never a penalty, shouldn't be a penalty. His hands were like here. What was he? If he didn't hit his hands, it was going to hit his chest. So I try and be fair in my assessments of these things. Would you rather face City home or away first? Away. I think away, Alfie, in the league. I think away, yeah. If it's going to come down to a crunch game, you'd want the second game to be at home in the second half of the season. What's the thoughts on Aguero and Pep dispute during the game? Asked Chad Scott. Now look, mate, I've no idea what went on or what was actually said, but players should never really be happy when they get substituted. But I suppose there's also a way of expressing that. You talk to your manager behind closed doors, or you go to him in training the next day, or whatever. You know, there's a professional way of going about it. So it doesn't look great. It looks like that they might be a little bit rattled already. Pep's post-match interview gave us as many indications as we want that he's a little bit rattled already at this point of the season. And I told you guys, go back, watch streams throughout the summer. People were talking about Manchester City this season, and people were saying that they were going to win the league again, and they may well do. But I also said, do not rule out the impact of external factors on Manchester City this season. The FFP stuff, the newspaper articles, the little bits of discontent within the squad. We've seen it with Sané a little bit. We've seen it with Aguero. And by Sané, I mean with him potentially looking for the move. And we've seen it with Aguero yesterday. And this will only ramp up as the stories start to come out and the potential European ban might come. And the appeal comes. And the questions are being asked. And the newspaper reports are there. And the blogs are out. And the videos are out. And it will just ramp up and up and up. And I just hope Kloppo, and I'm sure that he will, just keeps ticking along. Just keeps getting the 3 points, going about our business, doing our job. And I think that's how we need to do it this year. That's my little vague opinion on everything. VAR is worthless unless it's done when it's supposed to do. It should take opinion out of decisions. It should do, but football's not a black and white game, mate, with regards to the rules. There's always human interpretation in there, which is why it's a little bit different to tennis, where it is clear. It is in, it is out. Yeah, you can measure it. It's not that way in football. There is still going to be some human perspective on it, and which is going to be inherently flawed. What else we got? Another 3 points at Jay Kismet. Damn right, mate. Another valuable 3 points as well at the start of the season. Couldn't see Hazard pull. What's this? Couldn't see Hazard pull it. I don't know what the hell that is, Mr. Me. Sorry, I can't read the sentence, mate. All I know of Hazard is he didn't play for Real Madrid yesterday, I believe, in their first game, or his first game. Yeah, I don't know what the sentence was, though. Sorry. I hope he slap Arsenal again this season. 4-0, said Mossy Kyo. I'm going 4-1. That's my prediction. And I don't know how, but I'm after been getting a lot of these predictions right lately. I've been on a bit of a lucky streak. Should have put some money on it, though. Shouldn't I? Should have. Connor keeps saying it to me. You should have put money on them, but I've never actually bet on exact results. Do you know what I have done, though? I mean, leaning towards Football Index again. I have put a few quid. I've bought a few shares in Mason Mount. Yeah, I've got to be honest, I have. I know he's a Chelsea player and all, but as I said, I've got a portfolio on Football Index to try and make some fucking money, and Mason Mount, I think's value is going to go one way, and that is up this season. So if there's any Football Index people out there that have signed up or that have already been using it, keep an eye on them. I know Craig Adams, I think it was, keeps saying to me to buy shares or buy shares in Kai Havertz, but I still haven't got around to that yet. I'm still looking for bargains, mate. I'm looking for players that are going to increase massively this season. You've got the obvious ones like Graham Brewster from a Liverpool perspective. You've got that young kid from United as well. What's his name? Fucking Mason Greenwood. You've got him as well. Probably another good one. Now, as I want to point out, Football Index is only available to people in the UK and Ireland, and it is a gaming gambling product. And when the fun stops, and be gamble aware. And for any further information on that, visit begambleaware.org. Got to point that out, it is a real money game. But if you are going to give it a try, there is a sign up link below in the stream description. Connor, I think description. I keep calling it notes, and he keeps pulling me up on it. There is a link in the stream description below, and if you use the code AA, just 2 A's, really simple. When you sign up, you will get the bonuses that we spoke about previously, which is 10%, 10% extra on any buys that you make in the first month, and you will get a first month loss guarantee of up to £1,000. So if you lose up to £1,000 your first month, which I'd be amazed, to be quite honest. You can get that back. They will refund that to you. Just email customer support and they'll look after you. So again, if you're going to check out Football Index, it'll be a regular segment that we talk about a little bit on the show. So let me know how you're getting on if you do. Connor's pretty fucking smug lately as well. He's doing quite well. The City board will want Pep out if they keep failing in Europe. That's the first prize that they want. So Christopher McVicker. I don't know. I can't speak, mate. I don't know about the City board. I wonder though how Pep would feel. Like, let's say Manchester City got a ban from next season in Europe, and I don't know if they will or won't. I'm just working on absolute hypotheticals here. I wonder if they don't win it this season. So let's say they go full on Man City and go out in the quarterfinals. Will Guardiola stay? Would he stay next season? City fans will probably say yes, he will. I mean, if I'm speaking to Steve McKierney, he probably says to me, yes, Craig, he will stay. Pep will be here. He will see out his contract. Pep sees out his contracts. I think there's one more year after next year on Guardiola's contract, if my memory's right, but it will be interesting to see. John Irwin said, I think we'll win 3-0 against Arsenal. Krishna said, with Adrian back in goal, we should do 70% long goal kicks. We should be able to adapt to that. Adrian will mess up trying to play from the back. The thing about that, Krishna, yesterday is, look at it back, there was a very simple ball to Trent out on the right hand side. I still don't know what on earth he was trying to do. The ball to Trent gave him a massive margin for error, whereas what he was trying to do, I don't know, play it to Matip, I don't know what he was trying to do, but it was ridiculous. So if in doubt, either play the simple ball, or as you said, mate, go long, and don't try and overcomplicate things. I think Liverpool 4, Arsenal 2, but I'd love a 4-0, possibly a 4-1, said Mossy. It's going to be, I'm looking forward to them. As I said, they're really good, entertaining games usually when we play Arsenal. True Geordie said Man City have avoided a transfer ban. Yes, but you're getting confused, Radical Gambino. True Geordie is to an extent correct, and I'm sure he gave this information out in the right context, because True Geordie's pretty damn good at what he does. I think you're getting confused, mate, because Manchester City avoided a transfer ban with regards to the signing of underage players. It's got nothing to do with the FFP issues. I've tried to make this clear on the stream a few times because I know it's confusing a lot of people. So, Chelsea got a ban. They have a 2-week transfer window ban because of the way they went about signing underage players and breaking rules. Manchester City were found guilty of the same thing, but received a fine and I don't know what else, a slap on the wrist, and apparently they copped to it and they were much more open about it with UEFA or whatever. But that's nothing to do with FFP. That's got nothing to do with what they're under investigation for now with regards to the stuff in the Spiegel and things like that. That's all still on the table. So don't be under the misconception that Manchester City have gotten away with this, because no, they haven't, mate. And everything that we're reading seems to suggest that there will be a potential ban coming, which they can appeal, of course, to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. But I just want to make it clear to people, maybe like yourself, that are a little bit confused by the situation. What True Geordie most likely said, and I don't want to put words in the man's mouth because I haven't seen the clip, is that they avoided it for the underage signing stuff, not for the UEFA FFP rules, which is still under investigation. Just want to make that clear. And again, I don't know what True Geordie said. I'm just guessing. Stephen Booker said VVD kept up and passed Adama Traore when he had a head start. Yeah, VVD is quick. He's quicker than some of us think as well. Leno is better than Karius, said Mossy. Fair enough, but he's not better than Adrian. Not Adrian, Allison. Fucking Adrian in the brain now because we've been talking about Allison. Hey, Chelsea look so tired. Started well, but fell off fitness, I reckon. I think you're right. It is. And look, they had to travel back after 120 minutes as well. And let's not forget about this. I said it before the game. I don't want to give Chelsea much fucking credit here, but they had a shorter turnaround than us for the Super Cup final. We played on the Friday, they played on the Sunday. We had about like 38, 40 hours extra rest than they did. So it's probably natural that they were going to be tired after the 120 minutes. And I thought they started the game really well, and I thought they were actually going to batter Leicester, if I'm being honest, until Leicester got through to half time, and then the game started to change. And Leicester, to their immense credit, probably deserved to pip the 3 points there at the end of that game. Maddison should have scored. Christian said, I'm a Liverpool fan through and through, but I've always respected Pep. His tirade yesterday wasn't very poor taste. That is pressure. Yeah, and look, usually Mr. Guardiola accepts these little things and says that he still stands behind VAR. And yeah, like you said, usually he's a decent enough fella. It is perhaps getting to him. I hope it is. We're all just guessing. I hope, Christian, it is getting to him a little bit. Man City and Spurs are forming a little battle on and off the pitch after yesterday's game. Less of the limelight on what we're doing. Yeah, more of that, mate. Let them have their little battle. Absolutely. Chelsea didn't play how they did against us. No, probably didn't. I'd imagine Lampard probably had slightly different tactics again with the turnaround, with the players he had available to him, being at home. But look, it doesn't matter. We won the Super Cup, and Chelsea dropped points today. So what have they got now? 1 point from 2 games. We've already got a 5-point cushion over them. 2-point cushion over Manchester City. Obviously, if United win at Wolves tomorrow, which will be no easy task, then they'll be top of the league on goal difference. So yeah, you're already starting to see their little gaps forming. Arsenal with 2 wins as well, so you can understand why Arsenal fans are quite chipper at the minute. Carl Jones said, Craig, remember when Thierry Henry for France handled against Ireland? Don't even remind me, mate. I mean, I know I say I don't really watch international football and I don't care about international football, but my God, I hate Thierry Henry. A player who I'd admired his entire career, watched in awe at times, but that cheating bastard. That handball against Ireland was all kinds of wrong, mate. Yeah, disgusted wasn't the word. VAR would have cleared that one up for sure. Adam said, Craig, any luck getting on through Geordie? No, I don't think he knows that I exist or we exist, mate, and we're probably not in his line of vision anytime soon, but that's alright. My job and your job and all of our jobs is to get us to a place where we are, and fingers crossed that'll be the case someday. Guardiola pretends to have a great image, cool, calm, but is a sore loser. Remember the little snidey stuff, Charity Shield, De Bruyne down last year away at City. They were snide again. Yeah, I mean, I suppose you probably have to have that side to you, don't you, to be successful. Yeah, I mean, I've never really seen, like with Klopp, we see Klopp week in and week out. I see Pep from afar. You know, I don't watch him in the same level of detail as I do with Jurgen Klopp. But you got to respect the man's achievements in the game. I mean, it would just be disingenuous of us not to. There I go with that word, disingenuous again. It seems to be my new word of the week. Noel Gallagher is only talking about us because he's worried. Said, looks, yeah, that whole fucking interview by Sky was odd. Very, very odd. Particularly the part where, you know, Noel went on his little fucking rant about Liverpool. In his fucking opulent fucking mansion or whatever it was. The fucking... I don't know. Don't get me started. Love Oasis from a musical perspective, but Noel is nothing short of an arsehole these days, to be quite frank. And deluded at times when it comes to Manchester City. Pep and Klopp are top managers because they look at a player, try to advance their all-round game, both successful at doing that. Mane and Sterling are the prime example, said Jay Kismet. Yes, exactly. It's a very fair point. Both managers have worked wonders with those two players. Sterling has improved a lot under Guardiola, and Mane again, same under Kloppo. Okay, what else have we got? Guardiola's a sore loser. Yes, I think I'd be a sore loser as well, though, to be fair, Dean. I suppose it's just where you're a sore loser. I mean, in public, you've got to be portraying the right thing, looking after your club, making sure that you're professional. But once I got behind closed doors, mate, I'd be a sore loser as well. I'm not going to lie. I am an extremely competitive human being. I don't like losing at anything. And I mean anything. So, yeah, I get that side of Guardiola. It's just about not letting people see that weakness. It's about keeping those moments in private as much as you can in this day and age, I suppose. If you could choose our next signing position, what would it be? Another attacking wide forward now for me. Another pacey, tricky, direct. Phone thinking I was talking to it. Another pacey, attacking, direct wide forward. Radical Gambino said, unfortunately, Manchester City play some beautiful football. Without a doubt, mate. They are an exceptional team. Never said anything else. They are truly exceptional in what they do. They're a machine. They are an attacking machine and very difficult to stop. When Pep was complaining about VAR being on a tea break, I guess you should know since FIFA took a break when they were breaking FFP rules. Well, they haven't. It's still under investigation, mate. Yes, it is strange that people are getting that mixed up, that people think City have gotten away with it. It is one minor little thing about underage players that they're after getting away with. Who would you like to see play versus Arsenal, Matip or Gomez? I answered that one earlier on, buddy. I went with Gomez because I like his pace, but it will be very harsh on Matip if he gets dropped. Anthony Cronin said I think Gomez should play because Arsenal's front three are very fast. Lee said he's a sore loser when it comes to football games. We all are, mate. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys are probably similar to me. And of course, when I say guys, by the way, it's an Irish way of phrasing things. Don't think I'm only addressing men. When I say guys, it's just how I address a group of people. So I just want to clear that up in case anybody ever got annoyed by it. So I would imagine all you guys out there are the same. When Liverpool lose, probably maybe you're not all the same, but it ruins my weekend if Liverpool drop points. I'm like an antichrist. What's my zodiac sign? Virgo. I'm apparently fucking shy and timid, Kirby, if you believe that. How much would Sancho cost? A lot. But Nike money could come in handy there, if you get where I'm coming from. Although I did see an article earlier on in the week that suggested United have been having conversations about Jadon Sancho. If you had to choose one player from City to have in your squad, who would it be? The De Bruyne shout from you is a really good one. It will probably be one of De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva or Sterling. For what we need, probably De Bruyne. But I would keep in mind his fitness issues, so I probably end up going for Bernardo Silva. But three exceptional footballers. Excuse me, need a drink. We should take note that we concede goals in every game. It's not a great sign. Our front three are the best. Well, yes, we have conceded goals, mate, but it wasn't the defence's fault. Adrian had an absolute brain fart. But at this point of the season, it's just about getting the W's. It's just about putting the points on the board, and we're doing that. We will get better. We'll get into a rhythm. The defence will get better. And I'm really looking forward to this game against Arsenal. I really am. I think it's going to be a really entertaining game. Did you see De Bruyne's assist for Sterling? Yeah, it was an unbelievable ball. It was a great header by Raheem Sterling as well, but an unbelievable ball right to the back post. There's no defending that. It was quality. Liverpool versus Arsenal score prediction, asks Mudasir. 4-1 for me, mate. 4-1 to Liverpool. Loads of people saying Leroy Sané as well. Yes, quality, absolute quality. Sané would be devastating in our team. Sterling would be devastating. Bernardo Silva would be devastating. Kevin De Bruyne would be devastating. I mean, you can make arguments for every one of those four. All outstanding footballers and would grace any team in the world. Cape Town Muslim said, to be honest, never seen much of Sancho. How good is he? You know what? I'm going to put that to the group, mate, because I'm only starting to watch more and more of Sancho now that the hype is building up. So there are probably people that have been following his career since his early days at Manchester City right through to his time at Borussia Dortmund. And I'm not going to pretend to be one of those people. So I'll put it to the chat, guys. How good is Jadon Sancho? I know a lot of you guys are very into your stats and into your research of young footballers and stuff like that. Let me know. And most importantly, let Cape Town Muslim know. On that, before I go any further, a little bit of a change. So, as you guys know, myself and Connor are going to Florida next month with Anfield Agenda. Still can't believe we're saying that, by the way. But there's been a slight change. I didn't realise, or I haven't checked since, the game that we were supposed to meet the Orlando Supporters Club for was against Newcastle. And it was... So, Liz, if you're watching maybe, or Farrell, pay attention to me for 1 second if you can. That could be in doubt, and here's why. The game has been moved to a 12:30 p.m. kickoff UK time, which will be a 7:30 a.m. kickoff Florida time. And myself and Connor are only going to be getting to our accommodation around 1:30 a.m. the morning of, so like 5.5 hours before the game kicks off, having travelled for 16 hours to get to Florida. So we ain't going to make that game. Originally, it was scheduled as a 3 p.m. kickoff UK time, which would have been a 10 p.m. kickoff, which would have at least given us 4 or 5 hours sleep before we had to head off. So we're looking at trying to reschedule something there. I don't know if perhaps we'll pop in after the game to the guys at the Orlando Supporters Club. I'm in contact with them now, trying to figure that out. It's really important to me that I get to meet the people from the Orlando Supporters Club, because I've been back and forth with them for a few years on Twitter, and I'd love to go and say hi. I also got reached out to before I came on the stream by Tallahassee Liverpool Supporters Club, who are wanting to find out what we're doing as well. So I'm going to be in contact with them before I go back. But I just want to put that out there. So if you're planning on coming to that game, the Newcastle game on the 14th, and meeting us in Orlando, we may not be there for the actual game. We may be rescheduling to meet them at a later point or a later date. But the one in Tampa Bay on the 18th or 19th is absolutely 100% going to be going ahead. And hopefully we can meet up with the guys from Tallahassee as well. Maybe even take a trip down to Miami, to the Miami Supporters Club, if time allows. I just wanted to put that out there, though, in case anyone had travel plans or anything like that, because I know Far Isle, as an example, has quite a long drive. I think it's a 3.5 hour drive up towards Orlando. So, again, any Floridians or anybody coming to meet us, you can keep in contact with me by email if you need to, AnfieldAgenda@outlook.com, on Twitter, Instagram. Well, you'll get Connor on Instagram, he takes care of the account. Just wanted to put that out there so nobody has any plans fucked up or anything like that. Right, so I read that Puma are currently pitching Liverpool for the right to sponsor the kits. Well, manufacture. Thoughts? I don't want Puma, is my initial impression. Brace, and everything that I've read suggests Nike are the front runners. Now, again, it's all just conjecture and guesswork, but I don't want Puma making our kits, mate. They are horrendous. Don't like them. I mean, I could just about stomach Nike, but no, that's just my thoughts. But maybe other people like Puma, I don't know. Don't mind them as a brand, don't get me wrong, just don't want them making Liverpool football shirts. John Irwin said Sancho is very good. Anthony Cronin said he would have liked Maddison. Maddison's class and Mossy. What else we got? Oxlade-Chamberlain reminds me of Hazard, but in midfield. He's sensational, said Ibrahim. So Tampa it is then, says Liz. Can you get an address for the match so I can look for a hotel? Yes, we just have to wait, Liz, for the Champions League draw to take place, because I can get you the address of where the guys are going to be meeting. They've got 3 different venues in Tampa, and I won't know which one just yet. But as soon as the Champions League draw is made, Liz, we'll know whether it's the 18th or the 19th of September that the Reds are going to be playing, because that's the 2 days for the first round of group games. So I won't let you down, Liz. Don't worry, I won't forget about you. It's why I want to give you as much notice as possible. We're making that alteration. Anyway, back to the show. Bobby so importantly makes everything tick. He changed the game on Wednesday night against Chelsea, said Mudasir. Yeah, he did, mate. You're right. He is phenomenal. And you've seen second half when he came on, everything seemed to click a bit better. And I love him. He is so important to what we do. Maddison missed a big chance today, but he's defo legit. He is. He's a great player. We were linked with him. I know we've had this conversation before. We were linked with him before he went to Leicester. I think he had an ankle injury towards the end of that season with Norwich. I don't know if that is or is not what may have changed our path, but yeah, he's a good player, James Maddison, and he would have fit in rather nicely at Liverpool, I have to say. I wouldn't mind a Reebok kit, said Twisted. Oh God, no, mate. It's like I'm a chav, and even Reebok is too chavvy for me. And I openly admit I'm a chav when it comes to stuff like that. But even Reebok, mate, you might as well put fucking Lonsdale on. It's a no for me, not Reebok, not again. Those Reebok kits were horrendous. Oh, I really didn't like that time. Everything about Reebok and me, just those memories, not great. Pass on Reebok. Do you think Hudson-Odoi can reach the same level as Sancho in the future? Again, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that I've seen an awful lot of Callum Hudson-Odoi. But what I will say is, if you've got clubs like Bayern Munich interested in him, there must be something about the kid. And I'll be interested to see how he gets on this season for Chelsea. I don't know if he'll be as good as Sancho. I don't know. Perhaps. Klopp would love a bit of Sancho. He would. And he's been open about his admiration for Jadon Sancho before. He said that Liverpool were interested or tried to look at him or he tried to look at him, I should say, when he was leaving Manchester City, but they knew that they would not do business with us. They wouldn't even entertain it. Alban said, I think Kappa looks good. Oh, yeah, I get where you're coming from. So there were some nice Kappa Leeds kits. Didn't they make some of the Italian kits at one point? And yeah, I can get that vibe alright, but I don't think Kappa would have the money to be paying what Liverpool will be asking, mate, or Liverpool will be expecting. LFC 8092 said, no Reebok, no Puma, no Lonsdale, either Nike, Adidas or New Balance. Yes, I'm with you. Those last three, one of those, and I'm sound. In preference, New Balance, Adidas and Nike bottom for me, but it'll probably end up being Nike or Adidas. I'd say it's going to be Nike. If you're to believe what's being written, it looks like it'll be Nike. Right, so the club put out a tweet today saying that Jurgen Klopp has reached 300 league points quicker than any other manager in our club's history, doing so in just 146 games. So congratulations to Kloppo on that one. Now, I don't know if they adjusted this or if they're taking into account the fact that, 3 points now used to be 2 points back in the day. So, let's just really think about this from the perspective of since 3 points came into football, Jurgen Klopp has reached points quicker than any other manager in the club's history in 146 games. So congratulations to Kloppo. Well done to him. Delighted. And it just goes to show the improvement that we've made season on season and what a damn fine manager we have at the club. What's wrong with New Balance? They've done brilliant. Nothing. Love New Balance. All for New Balance. Just, again, don't know if they'll have the money to really compete with Adidas or Nike when it comes down to it. We're talking record-breaking kit deals here probably for the Premier League, so, or if not, very close to it. So I don't know if they'd have the money. Seahog say, Craig, told my son to go back and look at your Barcelona commentary. We were both at the game and still not over it. He loved what you did and as a fan got you a new subscriber. Thank you. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it and I'm so jealous that you were at the game, mate. I mean, I can't even imagine what that feeling must have been like to be there for that, to see it unfold as it did. But I'm also delighted that you guys watched it back and enjoyed it. Thank you. And thank you for subscribing and thank you for your continued support. Palace looked very poor today. Got to be a tough season for them. It is. 1-0 win for Sheffield United, for those of you that don't know. And Palace looked very, very ordinary, you're right. And imagine that team if they lost Wilf as well. God, they'd be dog shit. Sondico, can you imagine that, Adam? Adam said maybe Sondico for a kit. That is like Sondico is the lowest level of sportsdirect.com stuff. Like, that is like, fucking 8 for 12 quid style stuff. Dara, by the way, Dara is easy. I can see you there, buddy, in the chat. What you mentioned to me about the Fury Wilder thing, and I did a bit of research, and yeah, February date is floating around for it, although I wonder if that's a realistic date for that fight, because there isn't Wilder fighting end of November, start of December perhaps, against Ortiz on anything like a cut nicked on his head there, a bit of damage to his hand, anything like that, and I would say it's quite tenuous for February for the Wilder Fury 2. But there is definitely talk of it, mate. You were right yesterday. If we want Mbappe, then Nike, said Kirby Power. Same with Sancho. I would imagine. Is it Sancho a Nike athlete? I don't know. I don't follow that stuff too much, but Nike would definitely open up some doors. It would definitely help. I'm not gonna lie. I would imagine that there could be some avenues opened if you went with Nike. Jay says, Craig, your celebration was unbelievable, said LFC Maniac. Yeah, it's my favourite one's still the Origi one. I don't know, like that one for me was me at my bluntest and my most ridiculous self. And it's the only thing we've ever done that got demonetized as well, which still makes me smile to this day. They demonetized that celebration because there was too much swearing in it, which is fair enough. I mean, shit happens. McDonald's to sponsor us. Actually, I spoke about this before, Callum, and McDonald's, Diet Coke, some stuff would just look alright on a Liverpool kit. I don't know about the McDonald's, but I can imagine Diet Coke on a Liverpool kit. I can imagine it more on this show, Diet Coke, if you're watching, sponsorship. Hit me up. Newcastle look the worst I've seen in years, to Joel Morris. High tech, my God, David, that's gone back. High tech was anything fucking but, mate. It is absolutely not what it described on the tin. Got a bit of love for Gola though, Stephen. Gola makes some nice messenger bags and stuff. My birthday's in February on Valentine's Day. Happy birthday then, Anthony Cronin. It's a long time away though, mate. My birthday's next month. My birthday's next month anyway. So, I'm getting older. Getting closer to 40. Trent isn't good enough at defending. He's fucking pretty damn good, mate. I will take Trent over almost any other fullback in the Premier League, mate. You piss all over him all you want. I fucking love Trent. So, I'm not going to have a bad word said about him. Sorry. The Origi celebration made my husband spit out his drink, said Liz. Sorry about that. I hope he didn't ruin the carpet or anything valuable, Liz. I remember McDonald's Cup in the 90s. There used to be a McDonald's at Anfield. I thought I was imagining this for such a long time until I had conversations about people. I think it was the back of the Cop or something like that. Danny said, got my Diet Coke. Well in. See, Diet Coke, I'm doing stuff here. I'm doing bits for yous. Diet Coke and Kyo's, the two people that, the dream sponsors of the channel. Do I remember Pony? I do remember Pony Radical Gambino, yeah. God, we're showing our age here now, aren't we? Yellow Pack sponsor City. It's an Irish thing. Do you remember KVI, Dave? Gone even a little bit further. Yellow Pack and KVI, which predated Tesco and their nonsense. Will I stream on my birthday? I've no idea. I'm going to Florida 2 days later. I've got no idea. 30 what? I will be 38, John. 38 on my next birthday. Next month. 38. Ugh. It's getting old. Pony and Head made sports bags for pianos. Well, I had a lot of Head bags actually for tennis. Head made some pretty good tennis equipment, so I used to have a few Head tennis bags. A few Wilson ones as well. Remember, Trent's only 20 years and he's still learning. Exactly. He's fucking boss. Don't mind. Anyone who says Trent can't defend can kiss my ass. You don't win Champions League, get to the Champions League final, go to a World Cup as your country, get the stats that you do in the Premier League and be as good as you are without being able to defend. It's just not going to happen. What else we got? Used to be a big McDonald's on the side of the Cop. We got it tucked done. I don't know what we got it tucked done mean, but I'd love a fucking McDonald's now. God, this diet's killing me, ladies and gents. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I'm on here and I'm feeling faint-headed. I'm really doing my best to lose this fat ass weight of mine. Lesser talking about age, I'm 56, said Iranian Pride. That's alright, mate. You're only as young as you feel, I suppose. Pookie value. I don't know, Joshua. I added him into my fantasy Premier League team, mate. I'm not going to lie. After the start of the season that he's had, I Timo Pookie the shit out of my fantasy team this week. Anyone saying Trent isn't good enough should sling their hook, said Gonads. Damn right, pal. Damn right. Love you too, Casper, mate. Thank you for the kind words. Does Klopp fancy Ryan Kent? I don't know. It's a difficult one. He is available for sale. That's true. I don't think the club want to sanction another loan deal, but I think Liverpool are happy to keep him if they don't get the fee that they want. I can't speak for Jurgen Klopp, but I don't think Ryan Kent will make it at Liverpool. I don't think he's up to the level, but that's my opinion, and it isn't worth anything. Klopp's opinion is the one that matters. Not good at defending, just he's brilliant at attacking. Bullshit. Sorry, mate. You're talking shite. You don't keep as many clean sheets as Liverpool did last season with a right back that can't defend. I'm sorry. You're just being very disingenuous, and you're jumping on the bandwagon of other people's bullshit opinions on Trent that he's only good going forward. No, he's fucking great going forward, and he's fucking great at defending. And he broke records last season with Andy Robertson attacking because we do our attacking from wide areas, but we also kept a shit ton of clean sheets last year. A goalkeeper won the Golden Glove, and that's because of an entire back five, maybe even six if you include a defensive mid. And I'm sorry, but Trent is a damn fine defender who is only going to get better. And that's the frightening part here. That's the frightening part for anybody who wants to come and have a sly little dig at old Trent, is that he's 20. And he's only going to get better and better and better. And people that are his detractors now are just going to have to suck on it, because the lad is class. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to wash, mate. Sorry. To say Trent can't defend is just absolute horseshit. Lee said, I've been making hot pots in a slow cooker. Nice. Well in, mate. Good stuff. You're making me hungry though, Lee. Can't stand McDonald's. One bite of the burgers and it's gone. Said Christopher, I'm a Burger King person. Mate, if I'm being honest, I prefer Burger King over McDonald's. Man City need to get the kit made by Fila. It'll suit them. Said Lux. Joe Gomez is my favourite Liverpool player. Said Adrian. Fair enough. He's a great player as well. Has more defensive work to probably do in his game than Trent does. But again, love Joe Gomez. UK lad said that's the blind spot. He's excellent at both. He is. He is almost the complete fullback, and he's only 20. Disney are universal. 100% universal. Wobbly banana. Oh, I hate Disney. I go to Disney, and this is the God's honest truth. I go to Disney, and what I see is a load of frauds pretending to be happy, and I fucking despise it. I absolutely despise all that false happiness that goes around with Disney. It does my head in. Nobody should be that fucking happy all the time. It's not natural. So yeah, Disney does my head in. No, big massive pass on Disney for me. Universal, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. I'm totally team Universal in that conversation. And thankfully, when we go to Florida, none of my kids are Disney heads. None of my kids really give a fuck about Disney, so they're actually prefer going to Universal, which makes it much easier for me, because we brought them to Disney a couple of times and Mickey fucking raped the shit out of me financially. I'm not going to lie. That little mouse knows how to extract money from a wallet. Man, me and Mickey have beef. I'm not going to lie. Fucking robbing little bastard. Not that Universal isn't, pricey, but nah, Universal for me over me Hall Mouse. He's my favourite player is Trent at LFC 8092. Trent's a good defender. He's getting better on the side of the pitch. He's been attacked because of VVD. Hendo's not good enough and shouldn't be our captain. Alright, mate, you're a dickhead. Sorry, but you and your fucking ridiculous opinions can fuck off. Yeah, honestly, mate, just fuck off. You're just a trolling little self-loathing, pretentious little gobshite. If you are a Liverpool fan, mate, then fuck me or everything that's wrong with our fan base. Honestly, mate, do one. TTFN. Jesus, Ashley Cole couldn't defend half as good as Trent, and people are saying he was something we were missing. To be fair to Ashley Cole, he did push on the fullback role in his day. Of his time, he was something different. I mean, I don't like Ashley Cole, but I got to give him credit from his footballing perspective. And he retired. I thought he had already retired, but he officially retired. Craig and Mickey had a fight. Craig is so funny. Yeah, look, as I said, not a fan of Mihal. My dream used to take my future kids to Disneyland. I think I'll pass on that. No, Lee, you don't, mate. I mean, there are many people that go to Disneyland, and I'm just giving you my perspective. I know a lot of people that love Disneyland, and their kids love it as well. And if your kids are into the Disney thing, they will have a wonderful time, and they will have memories for a lifetime. I don't mean to say Disney isn't good. Far from it. All these parks are amazing. What Disney do is amazing. What Universal do is amazing. I'm just a miserable fucker. And I don't like seeing anybody pretending to be that happy. I just see serious problems. Like, I actually... Like, they're not allowed saying no, I think, in Disney. And I kind of went out of my way to just try and wind them up a little bit, being honest with you. Asking stupid fucking questions. 2-pack or Biggie? 2-pack. Definitely 2-pack. Respect Biggie, but 2-pack. You make me crease with your bluntness. It is who I am. I'm like this at home. I'm like this when I go out. It's got me in trouble at times, but I'm just honest in how I feel, and I say what I feel, and I don't buy into society's norms of blowing smoke up people's ass because it's easier. If I don't like something, I'm saying I don't like it. If I don't like you, I'm saying I don't like you. I won't be up in your face about it, and I won't try and belittle you from, person to person perspective. But if I don't like you, I don't want to be around you. I'm not going to pretend that I like you. I'm not going to sit there in a conversation in a pub going through small talk with somebody when I couldn't be arsed. I'll just go, you know what, nah, I don't want to be here, sorry, I'll talk to you soon, good luck. And look, that's me. A lot of people will get a lot further in life by pretending that they like people, and by pretending that they're happy in certain situations, and then they'll go and bitch about it behind people's backs. I will just give my blunt opinion, and I lose a lot of subscribers over it. I'll lose a lot of friends over it. I'll lose a lot of viewers over it. I'll lose a lot of probably experiences from it, but I can't be who I am, and that bluntness is part of my personality. It's great to go to Disney World once, said Liz. Yes, everything should be experienced at least once in life. I personally prefer Disneyland Paris over Disneyland in Orlando. Farrell said, I waited in line under the broiling sun for that fucking submarine ride back in the 70s, and right when they were about to go on, they said it was broken down. Oh, mate, no. Oh, no. That's not a great experience to have. Nas the Illmatic is amazing. Yes, it is. Nas is brilliant. Love Nas, Radical Gambino. Right, here we go. Some more little bits and pieces, ladies and gents. So rumours of Shaqiri perhaps looking to move away from the club have intensified after quotes from a recent interview with a Swiss newspaper whose name I ain't even going to fucking try and pronounce because I'll just make a mess of it. So speaking about the current lack of playing time at Liverpool, Shaqiri said, I'm disappointed that I didn't play more. Nobody likes to sit on the bench. It's clear that I want more time. I have to look at the situation and find a solution. Now, this has led to some more articles going out there suggesting he wants away from the club, and I suppose it's open to interpretation about how you read his comments. You can read his comments and say, I have to find a solution, as in, I need to get out of the club, or you can read his comments and say, I have to find a solution, and that solution could be getting down, working harder, and convincing the manager that I'm worthy of more game time. I don't know what his actual meaning was. I guess we're going to have to wait and see, and only time will tell. The only reason I brought it up is because yesterday we kind of spoke about it a little bit on the stream, and since I read that today, I wanted to bring it across to you guys and maybe see what your interpretation of it was if you read those comments. Dominus, how are you, mate? Welcome in. I think we'll win one of the Champions League, the Premier League, and the World Club Cup. Yes. Okay. I wouldn't mind ending this season with the Premier League and the World Club Cup and the Super Cup. That would, I'd want more, but, being realistic, Premier League, World Club Cup, Super Cup wouldn't be the worst of seasons. Joanne Fisher said, part of being an Aspie too. Yes, it is, I suppose, Joanne. And I know, look, the spectrum varies from person to person, and people have different traits. This is one of mine. I was only 10, never been back, traumatised, said Farrell. So things aren't looking great for Owl Emre Can at Juventus, ladies and gents. There's multiple reports today that he's now surplus to requirements and could join Paris Saint-Germain this month before the transfer window closes. Now, I've got absolutely no bad feelings whatsoever towards Emre Can. I want to make that clear. I'm in the camp of people that believe that Emre Can was nothing but a professional during his time at Liverpool. He did what we ask everybody to do, which is respect their contract. Emre Can signed a contract at Liverpool Football Club, and he stayed every day of that contract, and he left on a free after seeing out what he committed to. So from my perspective, I have absolutely no bad will whatsoever towards Emre Can. More players could do that as far as I'm concerned. He respected his contract. He fulfilled his word. He was a thorough professional while he was here. And he went to Juventus. Now, my point I guess I'm trying to make here is that much like Felipe Coutinho, who thought perhaps the grass was greener and got his dream move to Barcelona, it hasn't quite worked out for Mr. Emre Can at Juventus, just as it isn't working out for Felipe Coutinho, who he is signing for Bayern Munich. He's signing there on loan with a potential to buy at the end of the season. The loan fee, which had been pitched at being 21, 22 million, I think Bayern put out there that it's 8.5, maybe something like that, if I've got that correct. Could be wrong, but I think it's certainly a lot less than the 22 million, 21 million that had been quoted when English clubs were involved in this. So yeah, my point here is, I guess, I wonder if this will act as a warning or maybe a bit of a deterrent to other players who see the bright lights of Turin, Madrid, Barcelona, and think that they will get the same level of love and admiration and support and feel as a home as they do at Anfield and when they're playing in front of Liverpool's fans. I wonder what you guys think. Have you paid any attention to this? Do you think there's anything in this situation? Do you think maybe, somebody asked me earlier on, was Salah or was Mane going to leave at the end of the season? I don't know, but if they're even thinking about it, I hope they look at the situations with Coutinho and Emre Can, who now are they're very different situations. I want to make that clear. Emre Can behaved like a professional and left free, no problem. Coutinho forced his way out like a little shit. Different scenario, but I suppose that the end game is they both left Liverpool. He was quite professional with the way he behaved, said Far Isle. When I hear the words Emre Can, I just think about that bicycle kick against Watford. See, you think about that, and I get you. But me being a Lucas Leiva fan, I think of the fact that it was Lucas Leiva that floated the ball in towards Emre Can before he hit that absolute wonder bicycle kick against Watford. And you guys know my memory is dog shit, and I forget so many things. But I won't forget that because Lucas was involved in it. Leo said, I went to Florida when I was 3 and 11. It was my dream as a child to go to Florida, Lee. My father was petrified of flying. Petrified. I might have told you guys before, I've been to Santa Ponta, like Majorca, 17 or 18 times because it's the only place my father would go on holiday because it was a short flight, had cheap drink, and I had sun. So everything my dad wanted in a holiday, as short a time on a plane as possible, sunshine and cheap drink. So yeah, been there a lot. But I remember dreaming about going to Florida, and when I became a parent, it was one of the things I wanted to do for my kids because I love flying. My father was petrified of it, and if he wasn't, I'm sure we probably would have went to Florida because my parents worked hard and both worked 2 jobs, and I had a good upbringing. So yeah, it's been proud for me to be able to bring my kids to Florida. I think they've been 4 times. Myself and my wife have been 5 times, and it'll be 6 times next month. But anyone who is thinking of going with their families, do it. It can be expensive, I'm not going to lie. We save our asses off for the entire year to try and get over there. With the park tickets and shit, it gets expensive, but it is memories. It is memories. Memories you'll take with you for a lifetime. So if anyone's thinking of doing the Florida thing, do it. But don't go between June, July or August. I would say go end of September, October, November, December even. I go in October usually and it's brilliant. The weather is pretty dry. Still a nice temperature. I've gone in June and got absolutely fucking torrential rainfall for certain parts of the day because of the tropical climate. Emre Can, probably the most overrated player in the last 10 years, said Brian Morrissey. I don't know. Overrated? I thought he was a decent footballer, to be fair. At times, to use the phrase, he looked like a Rolls Royce. At times, he looked slow and off pace, and sometimes even maybe a little bit unfit. I always thought that the Italian league would suit him, but clearly it isn't at Juventus. Stephen Owen said Santa Ponza's a great place. Oh, mate. Madonna's, Farmers, the Verdemar, the Jardin del Sol, the Jardin del Mar. Fucking been at that place so many times. I never want to see it again, Santa Ponza. Not because of anything wrong, just, been there, done it. More than bought the fucking t-shirt. Do you think they'll add the Club World Cup to the Champions Wall at Melwood if we win it? Yes, it's one trophy the club have never won, Ethan. So if Liverpool do win the Club World Cup or the Club World Championship or whatever the hell it's called, two things actually, interestingly. One, it will be our first time winning it, so yes, it would go on the wall, and I think we'd get that beautiful gold patch that Real Madrid have on their shirt. But also, and I only read this yesterday, we would be the first English club to ever hold those three trophies simultaneously. So the Champions League, the Super Cup, the World Club Championship. No English club has done that yet, and I didn't know that until yesterday. Now look, I'm not calling that a fucking treble or anything like it. I'm just stating it as a fact because it is, I believe. So yeah, interesting. And I want it. And I want Liverpool to have the World Club Cup, and I want that gold badge, and I want Liverpool to have an extra trophy on the wall, and I want Liverpool to be the first to do that. Yes, yes, yes. More of that, please. You're a good father, Craig. Mate, I've said this before. I'm fortunate to be married to an absolute fucking rock star of a wife. She is everything I could have ever dreamt for in a partner and a friend, in a mother to the kids. Very, very fortunate, man, in that perspective. I mean, who the fuck else would put up with me for this long? So to do the stuff for the kids and Sabrina, it makes it easy to put the shifts in, to grind out money, to do what you need to do, because I've got a fantastic little group of people around me in my life, and I'm very, very fortunate. I will always say that I'm a really lucky person. I've an amazing small group of friends, and I keep it small intentionally, because there's only so many people can put up with this fucking idiot, and I'm very fortunate with my family life. I don't want my kids' favourite memory to be of Florida though, just want them to be happy, if you get me. Yeah, of course. Some of my favourite holidays, some of my greatest memories were like trips to Wexford when I was a kid. So sorry, for context, for people that are watching, like a 2-hour drive from where I lived, but you were a kid and you're away, and it was new and it was exciting and you have fun. And look, for any parents or new parents out there, all kids want is time with their mum and dad, and to have fun and to play. They don't need the shiniest things. They don't need the most glamorous holidays. They need your love, they need your time, they need your attention, and they need to feel safe and secure. And once kids have that, the fucking world is their oyster. Everything else is just a little bit of gloss on top. I learned that from my mother and father-in-law, because I used to beat myself up when we first, I don't mean physically, but I used to beat myself up about the fact that when we first had kids, couldn't afford these little nice things. Couldn't afford Christmas presents for myself and Sabrina. We used to, just try and look after the kids. And as the years go by, like everybody else, it gets a bit easier. You get a bit more money in, and I learned very quickly that it is just, if you've got kids, man, that's all they want, is your love, attention, and to have some fun. It's true. It is true. It's one of the greatest lessons I've learned in life. And it kind of puts it into perspective sometimes as well, when you are working hard to try and get the new shiniest things. Sometimes just looking at your kids and understanding that simplicity is beautiful. And yeah, I'm sorry, I'm getting very fucking philosophical here. It must be the age thing. It must be the fact that I'm looking towards 40. What else we got? Have you ever been to Loftus Hall? No, I haven't, Anthony. What are your thoughts on Ryan Brewster? Love him. Can't wait to see him break through, mate. I'm not sure how quickly this season we will see him. Having only 7 substitutes available in the Premier League will definitely limit the manager's opportunities to bring him on, or to even put him on the bench for that matter. But I have every faith in that young man, and I have no doubt within 18 months' time, Ryan Brewster will be established, and we will be looking at another superstar at this football club. I can't wait for it to happen. I'm behind him 100%. I have had not a moment's doubt about that young man. I'm so confident that he's going to be brilliant. But I just want him, and Klopp will do it. No better man than to bring him through than Jurgen Klopp. But I want everyone to just be patient when he comes through as well, because, you know, he needs our support. I have a good time going over to Liverpool from Wicklow to see the family when I was a kid. Good time, said John Sinnott. Absolutely, pal. On the old ferry as well, probably over. I mean, I remember my first time on the ferry as a child. It was like a whole new world. Wise words, thanks for the reminder, said Cape Town Muslim. We all need it sometimes, buddy. We all get caught. I get caught up in it myself all the time. Caught up in the rat race, caught up in beating myself up about not being able to do certain things or whatever, but it's not important, man. It's not important one bit. FIFA World Club Cup, pretty sexy, said Seahawk. Yeah, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? That gold badge. I want that gold badge, mate. I'm not gonna lie. If we win that, I don't care if I have to order a whole new kit. I am getting that club, the red shirt this season with that sexy ass club badge on it. Oh God! Or does I have to wait till next season to wear it? But either way, I want it. I want the shirt with that gold badge. Would you like to see EA Sports as our sponsor? I don't mind, mate. Honestly, yeah. EA be as sound as anybody else. Obviously, our current chief executive has an in there, having worked at EA. Wasn't he responsible? Wasn't Peter Moore responsible for like in-game purchases on FIFA or something like that, or adding the extra packs that you buy? I don't play FIFA, so I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I believe that that was one of his brainchild. That whole added on purchases. I mean, back in my day, you used to buy FIFA, you used to buy the disc, you put it in, you fucking played it. That was it. Nowadays, you got to make sure your kids don't have your credit card number when they're on playing Xbox and stuff. For those of you saying that I'm a nice guy, thank you. But look, I've got my moments like everybody else. I am a dickhead a lot of the time. I make mistakes, but it is good to stay grounded. It is good to remind yourself every now and again that the glossy shit isn't important. Adidas on Nike. Adidas for me, Casper, mate, but I think it will be Nike in the end. One more little bit of news on Timo Werner. Reports in Germany are saying that Timo Werner is likely to let his contract at Leipzig run down and leave on a free at the end of the season. Now look, that's probably not a surprise to everybody. We've spoke about it before, but his rumoured preference seems to be Bayern Munich. But thinking about this, like, surely this is the type of thing Liverpool should be all over. Knowing that he will be on a free at the end of the season and that they can talk to him and get him to sign something in January, whereas Bayern Munich, they can talk to him behind the scenes, but they can't get him to sign anything in January because you can only sign for a club outside of your league, I believe, when you're in the final 6 months of your contract. I don't know if that actually varies from league to league. I know in the Premier League that's the case. So it should be the type of deal I think we should be all over. And I'm baffled as to why more clubs haven't openly shown an interest in signing Timo Werner. On the score sheet again today, I believe, for Leipzig. I think they won 4 or 5-0 or something at Union Berlin earlier on. Adidas stuff lasts for years, said Lee. Yes, and I think if we went to Nike, you will see the price of the shirts go up again from what they already are. Who's your favourite player? Mine's Trent. Bobby Firmino, mate. TTV Jamie. Bobby Firmino. Love him. Not if we're going to get Mbappe. Are we though? I mean, I hope. I have a funny feeling there is something big up our sleeves for next summer, and that this whole kit deal, whoever it might be with, and the fact we didn't do much this summer, it all leads into something big happening next summer, and I really am of that belief. Look, ladies and gents, I'm going to do maybe 5 more minutes tonight before we head off. I hope you've been enjoying the stream. If you have, please do hit that subscribe button. We are on the march towards 25k is probably our next target, but either way, please do hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up as well. That would be really appreciated. Again, don't forget we're working with Football Index this season, so if you are going to sign up to Football Index and give it a try, please use the link in the description below and put the code AA in when you're signing up. As always, this is a gambling product, so be gamble aware, and for more information visit gambleaware.org, and when the fun stops, stop, and all the other stuff I'm supposed to say. We do these things in our own unique way. Some people will give you a more professional spiel on it. I'm being fucking honest about it. We're working with them. It's a product I like. Yes, we will make money if you sign up. Not going to lie about that. You sign up and deposit 10 quid, we will make money. But that is what will keep the channel free and allow us to keep going on as well. So, as always, full transparency. If we get on Pepe, we'll sell Firmino. Doubt it. if we had to sell one of the front three, or if we do eventually, I don't think it would be Bobby. I think it would more likely be one of the other two. But it's all just conjecture and guesswork, mate. I'm trying to get people to sub, said TTV Jamie Beast. Thank you, mate. I really appreciate that. I still can't believe we are where we are with subscribers, mate. I feel like we've been blagging this and we're going to get found out at some point, but I'm having a ball. I love it. I want Jadon Sancho, said Sparks. I don't think you're on your own there, buddy. I think a lot of us are right behind you with that one. Great stream again, Craig. Thank you, Andrew. Thanks always for coming on to talk Liverpool. My pleasure, mate. And thank you guys for everything as always. We go off on tangents at times, don't we, when we're on these streams? But you know, it's part of the fun. You never know what you're going to get. You can talk about Liverpool for so long, but it's fun to go off and talk about other little bits and pieces as well. Would love us to win the Club World Cup title, but want the Premier League more. 100% with you going, ads. I mean, that's the one for me this season. Above all else, and I wanted it last season as well, I'm not going to lie. Champions League was secondary to me to winning the Premier League last year. I can't be a hypocrite. That's what I said. Well, I can and will be, but around this I won't be. I wanted it, but you know what? Winning the fucking Premier League is great, but winning the Champions League was pretty damn sexy as well. Defo have more chance of getting Sancho, and Mbappe is never coming, said LFC. Mate, I don't know if he's going to want to stay around as well at PSG, the way things are going. It's not looking like a great club at this moment in time. Although maybe he fancies a move to Raiola or something. Maybe he fancies playing under Zidane. I don't know. Great stream, said Maximo. Thank you very much, buddy. Loving your streams as always, said Marcio. Thank you so much. I don't know why anybody watches, to be honest. I'm still trying to figure it out, but I love it and I appreciate it. And I appreciate each and every one of you for your time. I'm going to call that a night, ladies and gents. I will see you wonderful people tomorrow. Don't forget, we will be 9:45 tomorrow because United are playing Wolves, and I'm sure people are probably going to watch that game. So we'll go a few minutes later tomorrow night, 9:45 start. We will schedule it as always. Going to take Tuesday off this week because Tuesday's the day I see my psychologist, and I'm usually all over the place when it's over, so probably get used to me not doing Tuesdays going forward. Look, we'll leave it there, ladies and gents. Somebody said during the Barca game you were at 14k. Now look where the channel is. Where are we? I don't remember, mate. That is mad though. A 50% growth since the Barca game. That's fucking brilliant. I didn't know that, Adam. I know we've been growing a lot. I think from October we were at 8 or 9. Yeah, it's mad. It is mad, but we only grow, we only do what we do, mate, because of your love and support, and thank you for that. Look, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy what is left of your Sunday. As always, take care of your families, tell your loved ones that you love them, and up the motherfucking Reds. Love to you all.